Welcome to Sunday Springboard with Melanie and Kimberlyn Coaching, where we help women find their strength and flourish after major life transitions. I'm so glad y'all are meeting with me today. I don't know where you are in the country or the world, but I guess if you're in cold, you're having a lot of snow. Down here where it's warm, we're having a lot of rain. But we're in the holiday season and we're having a great time. So the other day I was decorating my yard out front of my house and I was going to be out several hours. So I decided I wanted to let my dogs be out there with me. So I tied them up. I had like a steel tie back thing. And hang on, I can't see myself. It's making me crazy. Okay, I don't know if I'm on anymore because I can't see myself. So I'm just going to speak, and if y'all are listening, great. So I had this long steel tie back, and I tied the dogs up, and I hooked their leashes to the cable. And I went about my business, and they were basically hanging out. And if a dog would go by, they'd get a little crazy, but they couldn't go anywhere because it was tied up. And it got to be dark, and I was finished. I was getting ready to close up and take the dogs in and go in, and I look and there's T-Bunny, and then I follow the leash to where Fritz should be, and there was no Fritz. And so I'm freaking out, right? He's gone. I start running down the street. It's dark. I'm hollering, Fritz, Fritz, come here, Fritz, Fritz, come here. Running, hollering, looking. It's dark. Can't really see. And this man halfway down my street says, there's a little dog following you. And I said, is black? And he said, yes, he's black. I turn around and there's Fritz. He's running after me like, Mom, I'm coming, I'm coming. And of course, I was so excited and so happy and picked him up and took him in. And I was thinking about that yesterday and today about how often is that a good metaphor for life. I'm running in the dark, chasing after what I think I want, going the way I think I should be going. And behind me, what I'm looking for is trying to catch up with me. Joy, happiness, God. I mean, whatever it is, success is behind me, and I'm running away from it because I'm running the wrong way in the dark. And we've been talking about Christmas. We've been talking about how we want that Hallmark Christmas, that Rockwell Christmas, the Christmas that we see in the movies, the Christmas that we see on social media. Right. And we know that the movies are made up, they're scripts, they're actors, they're acting it out. We also know that the social media are only the pictures, the best pictures, right? We're not seeing the part where they're saying, you smile for this picture or you're getting grounded. We know this. And yet we still long for that kind of Christmas for ourselves. And we think maybe some reason there's something wrong with us that we can't have that kind of Christmas. And so we stress ourselves out and we get depressed. And so what we're talking about, today is day 3, week 3. And we're trying to find out how can we just have a happy holiday season regardless. So we started off talking about embracing the change, just realizing that this year may be different than other years. It may be better, it may be worse for you, depending upon the circumstances, but just being okay with things being different. We love tradition, and traditions can be great and wonderful, or they can be not so great and wonderful. Again, just be okay with things being different and be okay with looking at things and making decisions. Is this a tradition to keep? Is this a tradition to let go? If it's one I want, but I can't do, be okay with that for this year. We also talked about what do I do when when I'm not able to be with my loved ones like I would like to be with them. We talked about how to go ahead and be okay with that, find some people to be with, find ways to interact and be able to have joy regardless. Just as a reminder, I do record my videos and I put them on my website, kimberlyncoaching.com. Go to my Springboard page and you can watch the videos from this series, and then you can watch all my previous videos. So today we're going to talk about finances and other annoying things that can put a damper on your Christmas. So maybe you've always struggled with having enough money for Christmas presents. Or maybe this year it's worse than ever because of layoffs, because of COVID. Maybe you're going through a divorce, you're leaving a partner, you're starting a new job, you've moved somewhere. Um, maybe you're trying to put your life back together, or maybe you're trying to start off from scratch. Either way, you don't have the extra cash that you want or need to buy decorations, to buy presents, to buy clothes, to make travel plans, all the different expenses that can come up in the holiday seasons. So what do we do? Well, first, I want to recommend that if at all possible, don't go into debt. You know how hard it is to pay off your credit card when the interest just keeps pounding up. Unless you just absolutely have to do it, maybe you have a plan, you know you're going to get some money at a certain time, and make a plan of how much money you're going to spend, a plan of how you're going to get this paid off quickly. And if you don't have that, try as hard as you can not to put it on your credit cards, if any way that you can. So questions, presents. Do your kids need all that expensive technology? Do you need it all? I love it personally, but I have to ask myself, do I need this right now? Can we wait a little bit longer on this? If your kids are older, maybe sit down and have a family talk. Explain to them what's going on with the finances. They're part of the household. They can be a help to the family and contribute to the family in all different ways if you allow them to be a part of it in an appropriate way at whatever their age is. Come up with ideas. Ask them what their ideas are. Do family things together. Maybe make your gifts this year. Pinterest can be a great source for this. Decide to bake something for everyone. I bake little banana breads and I give to all my neighbors and friends and anybody that I want to give a gift to. It's inexpensive. People love it. Write cards. There are all kinds of things that we can do. Things that are unique and special to the person will be cherished forever. I know this, my favorite ornaments on my Christmas tree are the ones my children made when they were little. So that's probably the way you are too. So just remember, our mantra in all of this is things don't have to be the way they have always been. If you are really in dire straits and you really do not have enough money to get your children gifts or the food or the things that you need, there are all kind of programs around town. You just got to look for them. You can check for your Christian radio stations, your fire station, your hometown website. I'm actually putting a link in the show notes that shows about 10 different organizations that help out with families that are in need. When you think about all the things that you're needing to buy for Christmas, stop and think. Do you really need that new ugly Christmas sweater? Or can you use the one you already have? Another good question to ask is, do I really need this now? How much difference will it make to my happiness or someone else's happiness compared to the money that I don't really have to spend on this? Now let's talk about other areas that we might put stress on ourselves. I'm kind of thinking about the areas where we compare ourselves to others. We have to perform in a certain way. Maybe we have to set the perfect table, have the perfectly decorated yard, or the perfectly decorated Christmas tree. Maybe we're anxious about a holiday gathering where we expect that we're going to feel some judgment and some criticism from the guests who are coming. Maybe we have deadlines where we have to get things done and we have so many more activities during the holiday times. Maybe we're trying to work more hours so we can take off some more vacation times. So much stress. Can we just stop and think about which things actually have to be done? Which things we can forego this year? Maybe we need to just stop a minute and see what is the whole purpose of the season. As a Christian, we're celebrating the birth of Jesus. If you are other beliefs, maybe you're just celebrating family, love, kindness. But the real purposes of the season don't lend itself to the stress of all the commercialism that we fall into. Another deal. What if you're planning a Zoom party or another kind of virtual event? Are you stressing out about whether the technology will work right? Here's another area where we would do best just to take a chill pill. We can do everything we can to make sure that it's set up to the best of our ability. We need to do that. We need to prepare. But you know, and I know how many times people, everything is set up perfectly, and then at the last minute, the internet or the Zoom platform or something breaks. In these situations, it's best just to realize this happens, access your sense of humor, and just get things going as soon as possible and just laugh about it. And because you and everyone else knows this is not the first time it's happened, it's not going to be the last time. And it does not reflect on you if you've done everything that you can. There are some things we are just powerless. We have to let go of our perfectionism. We want things to go perfectly. I know that. I do too. But they're generally not going to, and it's okay. Just think of how many events you've attended, whether virtual or real, and they didn't go perfectly, and you still had a great time. What's really important is being with our loved ones, interacting with them in whatever way we can. When it comes down to it, truly, that's the best present we can give anyone. It's just to be truly there for them, to interact with them, to love them, to listen to them, to talk to them. Those are the best gifts that we can get. And those are, for the most part, free. Nowadays, some of it can be a little more difficult, but we can still find ways to do that. So a lot of the pressure that we normally have about Christmas, the parties, the clothes, the expensive spread of food for the big holiday gathering, a lot of that has been taken away this year because of the pandemic. So where we have more stress in some ways, we have less stress in others. I think it's helpful to stop and think about these things. Do you have some areas that last year you stressed over, and this year, because you can't do that, you're not stressing over it? I think it would be good for us to look at that and say, maybe this year was better. How can I take what I've learned about this for next year? So maybe next year we're able to do all the big gatherings and the parties and all the things we're missing this year. But how can we do them in a way that's less stressful, in a way that's more fun, in a way that actually accomplishes the purposes that we have? And how do we keep our minds focused on the reason for the season, keep the joy and the love and the happiness in the family, whether that family is blood or whether that family is heart. We know that those are all important, our family and our friends. So think about these things. Think about what ways you can do. Just don't let the stress get you. I hope you're having a great time. Remember that because the holidays are hard, I'm offering a free coaching session to anyone who wants it. One 45-minute session. I have put a link in the show notes where you can make a schedule. We can schedule an appointment. There's no sales talk. There's no strings attached. I just want to give back this season, and I've already had a few sessions and they were great, and we both had a really good time, and hopefully I was able to help them a little bit. So I hope I've given you a few tips. Even though I know this talk was very imperfect, that's what we're working on. Imperfect. Being imperfect, perfectly imperfect, right? Perfectly imperfect. Anyway, I hope you've learned a few things, and I hope you have a great week.